Hi, I'm Craig. That's my brother Brad. Welcome to Weekdays with Craig and Brad, episode 36. Brad, after a long weekend, I got to be honest. I was waiting for YouTube to pull the plug.
Nope.
They didn't.
You know why?
Hmm.
Because we're taking over.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what happened? It's actually a big deal.
What?
After several consecutive days of people
Uh-huh.
unsubscribing, we
We
had
got
our
one?
first day of positive subscriptions,
Woohoo!
which
Oh,
says
all
to
right.
me, which says to me,
Yeah.
we're turning the corner.
Well, you know what? It takes about, I've heard this before. It takes about 36 episodes
Oh,
to start turning that corner. So I think that we're there. I'm excited. I hope we get to 37 episodes, of course. I'll be crossing my fingers that we get there.
it'd be fascinating
What's that?
if every single subscriber unsubscribed after this episode and we went down to zero. It was like,
Don't do
oh,
it. No. That'd be too much work. Let's just stay where we're at and just keep
yeah, yeah,
going.
yeah.
I think.
Hopefully we can double up the number of subscribers. That'd be great.
Well, here's what I think has happened over the last since we started
Mhm.
is you had your channel. This show has changed the way that you were doing things. It's a new show. It's a new
Oh, yeah.
concept. So
Mhm.
everybody that was following you before is just sort of like, do I like this or not? And
Nope.
then those people are like, well, I'll just go away. But then we got new people discovering the show, and
Mhm.
they're going, oh, I like this, and then they do this. Boop,
Mhm.
because that's what we all do. Now, I think it's funny because, we've talked about earning subscribers and how important that is. Of course, we want to earn your subscription. But to me, I'm thinking lately, I'm like, why? Why do we all look? This is what we do all day.
Yep.
Like it's tap and wiggle your finger or your
Mhm.
thumb. Like,
Yep.
why are we making such a big deal about that? You know
I don't
what?
know.
If you're watching this right now, use your thumb, click the subscribe button, and give it a thumbs up. It takes you no effort and it does us a good service. Okay,
Hey,
just
how
do it.
about this for a tagline? Stop being such a lazy bitch.
Ooh, hey, get on it. Yeah, stop it. Hey, speaking of thumbs up,
Huh?
we almost got Larry a new thumbs up for this show. Almost.
Hey,
He was one short
one
from
like
earning thumb number 6, right? Or 7.
well, it would have been more than he should have. But I'll tell you this:
Mhm.
when you think your thumbs up don't matter on YouTube, my
Mhm.
God, look at you who thought your thumbs up didn't matter. Now Larry is one thumb less
Yeah,
because
that's exactly. There's the point right there, okay? If you had just made the effort, blah, that guy would have a whole new backstory about a whole other thumb today.
that's right. But alas, nothing's gonna happen. We are live over on twitch.tv/Craig Skits tonight, as well as it is late Sunday night for those who
Mm.
are watching the recording. But for those of you watching on the podcast, hey, it's Monday. It's good to see you. Welcome to a new week.
Now, why'd we start
Yes.
late, Craig?
Do you want the real reason?
Yeah.
Okay, we started late because earlier today, when we were selling Girl Scout cookies down at our town hall,
Uh-huh.
we brought the minivan down to get everything set up. When we tried to leave, the entire car just stopped working, and we had to figure out what was going on. So we got the battery out. I had to go down and take it to the place to see if that fills the battery or whatever. And after I went in and got the battery charged, it took 3 hours to get the battery charged. I had to go pick it up again, make sure it was a good battery. Turns out it is a good battery, just needed a charge for some reason.
Oh.
And now that's why we're starting here in the evening. So yeah,
Oh, so it was a really boring parenting story.
yeah, exactly. So
Good
I,
story, Craig.
I tried to soften it with Girl Scout cookies at the start. It didn't work
Yeah,
out.
look, we got to get some of those cookies over here.
Which, by the way, you can order online. I'll put a link in the description if anybody wants to order Girl Scout cookies from Madeline's brownie troop. Or I guess they're called daisies. The daisy troop, the smallest
Okay.
first-time Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
There'll be a link in the description. If anybody, they'll literally just send them straight to your home. It's
Yeah.
actually too easy now. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Okay.
yeah. So
Cool.
look, I see a lot of folks popping in tonight. I see Tom in here and Soda Osman, Rated MJ. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate that. And we know this is super late if you're watching over on Twitch. But if you're not watching on Twitch, that's cool. Just go to twitch.tv/CraigSkits and follow, because if we get knockouts during my 1 to 3 stream every day, then we're gonna do them live at night. I think that's a pretty good thing we should do. So
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I think that's a good idea. Let's go. Okay, let's do this thing. Brad found this comment, which is great, and we're gonna talk about it tonight. It's time for the YouTube comment of the day.
All right. So this guy Matt, 14345678910 says, "Do you guys think your opinion of this virus matters?"
Matt 434550, which is probably accurate. He probably put like his name Matt in there, and it auto filled out to 143,455 50. You are the YouTube comments of the day.
Yeah. So I saw that comment, Craig, and because look, just so you know, Craig and I read these comments every day. Is that you can write what you want,
the bad,
we'll read
and everything else in between. That's right.
But I saw this comment and I thought, like, I wonder what he meant by this. Like, did he write it like sincerely? Was he like, hey, do you guys think that this discussion, because we've been talking about a lot of the news lately and we've had some long discussions on our streams, and so I read this and I was like, did he write it like this? Hey, do you guys think that your opinion on the virus actually matters? Or did he write it like this? Do you guys think that your opinion of the virus actually matters?
I know for a fact that it was number 2.
Okay. So see, it got, yeah. And like, I think that was, my gut reaction too, because I think we all read everything on the internet with a defensive mindset.
Sure.
Of, the other person on the other end's like, let me just say right now, you're dumb,
Right.
like, and so it made me go, why do we talk like this to each other on the internet? Like, I'm an optimist, so I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to be like,
you read all of things negatively.
Yeah. Well, I'll read them negative because I think we're designed that way with social media at this point, But if I don't know that guy, I don't know Matt. Matt, what's up? Are you watching right now? Hey, what do you mean by that?
No, Matt didn't watch. Matt's not watching right now.
So look, but that's what my mind. I feel guilty later, right? I'm like, I shouldn't really like judge him, right? Like, maybe he was trying to actually sincerely ask. I don't know. So it set me off on this tangent and made me think, like you said, he's like, I know for a fact it was number 2. He wrote it like this. Do you think that your opinion actually matters? And then it made me think, why do we talk like this to each other? And why do we devalue everybody's opinion? What makes, is it a celebrity? Do they matter? Because they've made a movie? Is their opinion more valid than anybody else's opinion because they made a movie one time or two?
Right.
So I wanted to talk about that. And especially while we've got some chat going and some live feedback going, like, let's just have a chat.
Well, this is actually pretty interesting right off the bat. Tom saying, I admit I have such a disconnect with people that I cannot read messages from anyone and know what type of attitude they're using. Right. That's an extremely telling comment right off the bat. And Tom, I think it's really brave of you to say that, because I think there's a lot of people who fall right into that camp and they want to go out here and talk about how they can read the situation, but this is the internet, and that ain't true. Adam, good to see you, man. Thanks so much for the 1,000 bits. That's insane.
It goes with like the thumbs down too, because I know we're raking in the thumbs up, but every video gets like 1 or 2 thumbs down or something, and I'm like, who bothered to do that? Like, who was like, I'm gonna be that guy? Boop.
Right.
Like the power in the boop. It actually doesn't even make a noise. If it made a noise, it would mean a lot more, but it just sounds like this. If you get really close to your phone, that's what you're doing all day. And so it doesn't mean anything. It's just a thumbs down, but and you're just sort of detracting from positive juju, right?
Well, Dr. Bacon says because there's no accountability for your
Yeah.
actions behind the keyboard, and I think that's obviously the broadest reason of this, right?
Hmm.
But I think there's deeper reasons in this as well, right? Outside of just the idea that like, yeah, there's no accountability, right? One of my favorite scenes ever in any movie ever is when Jay and Silent Bob and Silent Bob strike back at the very end of the movie when they go in and they just beat the shit out of the kids who are talking smack about them on the internet, right?
Hmm.
Are you familiar with that
Yeah,
scene?
yeah, yeah. I remember.
Right?
Yeah.
They go in and just destroy, right? Um, and I feel like there is a severe lack of fear and respect for people online, right?
Hmm.
And the idea that you can say whatever you want, and that's fine. Like I said, this is one of those things where it's like you can. And if this guy wants to say, well, your opinion, or I guess he's more or less saying by asking and by him
Hmm.
saying, do you guys think your opinion of this virus matters? He's actually saying your opinion of this virus doesn't matter, right?
Right.
and
Right.
and, as I responded to him in that comment, I said, we're just stating observations. We're not out here like trying to change the world or anything. We're just simply stating observations about the virus. We don't even have an opinion about the
Hmm.
virus. We're just simply stating observations, and I think that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm gonna respond right now. Yeah, it does matter. And your opinion of the virus matters too, Matt. And anybody else's opinion matters because we're all human, brah. And so I don't never say brah.
yeah, don't say bro.
But you know what? Like, can we just value each other? Can we do that? You know?
No,
Why
no,
not?
of course not. No, no, absolutely not. Especially not to. And people always fall back on the idea of social media, right? I have this in my mind. Look, I know I was a part of the problem, right? And I think that's the thing that everybody really needs to sit back and really take a hard look at themselves. Like, and they need to say that to themselves. Look, I'm part of the problem, right? Guess what, Brad? Are you on Twitter or Facebook?
Yeah.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Alex Howe, Dragon Boat Nick, are you guys on? Are you guys on Twitter or Facebook? Guess what? You're part of the problem, right? Anybody watching this, you're part of the problem. You're part of the cog that makes this thing going. You're part of the problem that makes Zuckerberg who he is. Everybody has statements, and it really comes down to one basic human thought process. I want to be right. That's
Hmm.
really what it comes down to. I
Yeah.
want to be right.
Yeah.
And that's why we talk to each other that way, right? Like,
Yeah.
do you think that Matt 1450 whatever it is, do you think that Matt, if he saw us in person, would actually
Right.
say that? No, of course not. No.
See, that's the golden rule of the internet. That should be the golden rule of the internet.
That
If
should be the
you
golden rule of life.
if you wouldn't but if you wouldn't say what you're about to type to somebody's face, don't type it. Just don't. If you can't have that conversation, if fear were to get in your way of saying it in front of their face, then you should not say it ever, right? You can have your opinion. You could say whatever you want. But if you're going to say something, at least say something that you would have the decency to say to somebody's face, whether it was controversial or rude or, you know, harsh in tone. I think that's the thing that we've lost is the ability to communicate with each other. We've talked about this several times, but
But the irony though of giving people the ability to communicate, thus totally destroying their ability to communicate, right?
but like, look how we do it though. Like, you can only do it with so many characters. You can only use these certain amount of emojis, right? Like, there's still limitations on that communication where here, you and I are talking, during the show, I make faces and things like that, which I hope communicates with the people watching us,
right.
that, hey, you know what? Just, we can talk about serious stuff, but let's just keep it mellow and lighthearted, right?
Right.
So whereas if we said any one of these certain things, you could go back to our other conversations. And if you could take any one thing that we said and put it in a tweet, and it could get blown out of all sorts of context, right?
Of course, context is crucial for sure.
Yeah.
Adam says, to be fair, there are people who do dislike certain opinions for the smallest details. For sure, for sure. Talking about thumbs up and thumbs down, that happens all the time, and most of the time, people. But there are people who will just dislike just because they want to be jerks, and it is what it
Mm-hmm.
is. Alex says, I think of social media the way I think of commodities. All the opinions on the market are valid until we flood the market with too many vocalized opinions. And now we have a crash of the market, and no one really has the authority to determine what has value, even though it all does. Interesting, Alex. Really interesting. Interesting
Mm-hmm.
thoughts right there. Really
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I think that's I remember talking about Twitter, Facebook, social media early on about how it's great that everybody has an opinion, right? I remember saying that, but and I know that early on when we talked about the movie several times, Social Dilemma. Um, when you watch that, the original idea of those platforms was to provide everybody an outlet to talk about these things, and in doing so, it's turned into just these hate-filled echo chambers, and it's been done the exact opposite of what they meant to do. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
some of the worst things came out of good ideas, right? Real quick, Adam also says, Craig, wouldn't that mean you were part of the problem at some point because you had a Twitter account? Oh yes, Adam, I have freely admitted that. Yes,
Yeah.
I actually stated that just a few minutes ago. I was 100% part of the problem, but I also recognize that, right? I recognize the toxicity on the platforms, and I recognize that it was not doing me any good. And I got to be honest, it's been like, let's see, what is it, the 18th, 17th? It's been 2.5 weeks. Haven't missed it like
Mm-hmm.
one bit.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I feel like people, and I've talked about this before, the idea that people make excuses. Well, I got to talk to my friends. I got to DM my friends. I got to do
Mm-hmm.
this. No, you don't. No, you
Yeah.
don't. If you really need to, you can call them or text them.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it comes down to. And I have been communicating with people just fine off
Yeah.
those platforms. Probably actually better than ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using Discord, which with a lot of folks, and it's been good. It's been really good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's kind of like when you quit soda. Like I used to drink Dr. Pepper so much in high school, like
right,
all the time, 3 cans a day, maybe 4, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever you want to say. And then eventually, at some point in my life, I stopped drinking soda. And I mean, I'll still have it from time to time, but like I remember the first time, like I quit drinking soda, and then I went and had my first soda after like a month or 2 or something like that. And I was like,
right,
oh, whoa, oh, this wasn't good for me. You know what I
right.
mean? So like I think that's what social media is. Like we're all sort of adjusted to it. We're all go through the cycle every day. The internet is so condensed into just these like 3 or 4 social media. That's the entire internet almost,
Right.
like it's like we don't realize the vast land that is around us in the digital realm of things we could discover, right?
That's like that's a pretty cool analogy when you think about that. When you think of what Twitter, Facebook, Instagram are, and by the way, obviously Facebook owns Instagram, right? So they own these two major monolith, just giant platforms
Hmm.
that just suck data out of people. Um, it's when you think of them like cities,
Hmm.
right? You think of like Twitter and Facebook are like New York and Tokyo, right? It's just a
Hmm.
bunch of people all popped in, and then there's, all these other outlets that are like Casper, Wyoming, you know,
Hmm.
like just in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere that it takes a little bit extra effort to get there, but man, you're going to feel a whole lot better about being there, and there's
Yeah.
all these really fancy things in New York, and they're like, whoa, look at that, that's crazy, and look at and all this information and neon and billboards, and this is whoa, so many people. If you're in, I can ride the
Yeah.
subway and look at this pizza place, and whoa, this
Yeah.
is crazy. It's the same thing on Twitter.
Yeah.
Look at look what's trending over here. Oh my gosh, this person is
Hmm.
in e drama over here. It's the same type of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a good analogy too, because it's kind of like if you make Facebook and Twitter and Instagram the big the big cities, people literally go there to become famous too. I'm going to go to
Yeah.
Facebook and become an influencer, or Instagram, I'm going to become a TikTok influencer. And they go there to become famous the same way they'd go to a big city to become an actor or a musician or whatever. So it's kind of weird that our psychological, our psyche does go there,
And the irony of how many of them actually make it,
Yeah.
like in both real life and on social media, you know.
Hmm.
How many, you may get a paying gig, everyone, like that's one of the reasons why I held on to Twitter for so long, was like, well, maybe I'll get a paid integration or something, or I'll do, may have to do some sort of tweet or something off of a whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I think that happened like twice in like 11 years, and I made
Hmm.
like $500 off it, right? So it's the equivalent of like going to New York and being like, well, I'm going to be an actor.
Yeah.
I'm going to be an actor and I'm going to make it. Well,
Yeah.
okay, well, I got this guest spot. I'm a tree in the background of The Wizard of Oz.
Hmm.
But I'll get there, and
Yeah.
I made $25 for being in it.
Yeah.
And it's um I know that when I talk about Twitter, I have this like holier than thou aspect of it. And I don't want that to sound like that, because I I feel like I'm in recovery,
Hmm.
after just, it's really bizarre. It feels like I was on a drug that I couldn't quit, and I
Yeah.
tried to quit several times. And now that I'm not doing that drug anymore, I look back and I'm like, that was really, really bad,
Yeah.
you know. And the drug was dopamine,
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
thing.
yeah, and each one does something different to you. And the sad thing is they're all great tools. We're doing it right now, right? Like, can we just be transparent here? We're on the internet, we're on the
Mhm.
social networks doing
We're on
this
YouTube.
thing, right? We're doing it right now, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And each one does a different thing. It's what you do with it, right? And that's sort of maybe curtails back to the comments of the day. So how are we using it? You know, are we using it for good? I think Craig and I are using it for good. We just have conversations. We have a good time. We're not trying to hurt anybody. We're just hanging out. But then, the moment that somebody doesn't like what you say, oh, they better speak up. They
Right.
need to let you know that you don't need to be on here. It's not that they can't click onto the next thing. It's not like there's not anything else on the internet. No, they need to let you know right here and right now, you know?
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, do you think your opinion matters?
Yeah.
Like, of course, like that's just it.
Yeah.
Um,
And that was what that was the other level of this thing that got my brain going, was like, well, whose opinion matters, right? That's subjective. Who do you follow? Who influences you? What kind
right.
of education did you get growing up? Who were your parents? Like, and it kind of made me want to talk about celebrities a little bit, and how we idolize celebrities and experts, right? And what makes an expert? I've been labeled an expert, Craig. I was on the Fox News Business Channel one time as an expert do-it-yourself independent artist.
You were
I
on Fox News Business?
I was.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I was on the Fox News Business Channel. This was like, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Oh,
And
I see how it is, Brad. I see.
what?
I'm gonna dig that footage up, you Trump loving Republican son of a bitch.
Oh,
Because
no.
you're on Fox News Business 10 years ago.
I guess. Yeah. See, I
Because
wasn't thinking about that.
see
But
see
somebody
exactly.
out there heard it. Yes,
Exactly,
and did that,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
No.
Just like I was on CNN talking about whatever, and it's like, oh really? You
Yeah.
Biden, it's like
Yeah.
whatever. It'd be
Yeah.
the exact same thing, and that's the problem,
It
right?
was a trigger word. I said a
Yes,
trigger word.
yes,
That's
yes.
why that other comment the other day about it feels like I'm watching Fox News. I was like, "What? What did I say that triggered you to think you felt like you were watching Tucker Carlson right now?"
Right,
Like,
right,
look
right.
at my wardrobe. You guys have been commenting on my cool shirt, by the way. This is the real Ghostbusters. I'll show it off because it's one of my favorite shirts. Check out that artwork.
Way to go.
Isn't that incredible? Anyway, so you know, what makes somebody's opinion matter? And,
Well,
like, why do we idolize the people that we are, look up to just because they made us feel good one time? Craig, you've dealt with that. Oh,
yeah.
Craig, I used to look up to you. You were a big part of my childhood and teenage years with Screw Attack, and you've changed, man.
Yeah.
Because they knew you? No.
Right. Because I talked about their favorite game one time, right? Or I did a
Yeah,
countdown
because at
about the Genesis or whatever. It's like,
yeah, because at some point you said something in their brain that connected, and they went, "Wow, he really gets me." And then they expected you to always say those things, to
mhm,
them, and I've done that. I've experienced that with my music, like, "Oh, you don't write the same music that you used to write anymore." Like, "Yeah,
right.
well, doing I I'm more than that." But
Kind of a different person. Yeah, exactly. People change. That is what it is. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating to see that. I've had that happen quite a bit, quite a bit.
mhm,
And some people have said the exact opposite. I had a wonderful email the other day where a guy goes, "Look, I used to watch you all the time. And I've gotten back into watching you because you've started to tackle more topics, and it shows that you've matured and grown up. And can really appreciate that.
mhm.
And but that's like few and far between. Most people are like, "Screw you, Craig," you know.
Yeah,
But it's like those little, it was just really nice of them to email me and say that. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
it is. Those little things go a long way. I got a Facebook message the other day, similar, where a
Oh,
guy
you're
wrote
on
me and was like,
Facebook.
I was on Facebook. I'm
You're
still on
part of the
Facebook.
problem.
Trying to promote my music and become a superstar, Craig.
Just like you're in New York, huh?
Yes, exactly. But I got the nice message from a guy that said, "Hey, I listen to your music, through the years, and I don't really get on." He said, "I don't get on Facebook that much, but I got on. I heard your new song, and I'm so glad that I did. And it really touched me." And he said a really nice thing, so
Hey
it's really
Brad,
cool.
will you do me a favor while we're
Yeah.
doing this?
Uh-huh.
Will you share me? Can you upload that really quick and share that to me on like in a Google Drive, and I'll actually upload it to here, and we'll watch it at the very end of the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
uh, yeah.
Do that real quick, and I'm gonna talk about these really quick. Um, Adam over here is talking about Dr. Pepper. He says, "Gross. The best sodas are Mountain Dew and Coca Cola." Adam, do you think your opinion matters on soda? He then followed up with, "Well, Craig, that drama can still spread outside of social media platforms. Think about sources like television, any news source, etc." Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. It's just amplified dramatically on social media when literally instead of having one outlet like a news outlet, like a news source, you have 7 trillion people all trying to get the most retweets and likes. Jag Money also resub tier 1 for 6 months. Says, "Do you know what today is? It's my sub anniversary. Let's effing go." Nice, Jag Money. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate the resub right there. Love that. Dragon Ball coming into this. Look at this. Dragon Ball says, "If you're the same person you were 15 to 20 years ago, then then there's probably something wrong with you." Oh man. Oh boy. I'll tell you what. You know what? Dragon Ball eyes. Guess what you win? The Twitch live comment of the day. There it is, right there. You get 17 points for
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Congratulations. That's awesome. Mm-mm-mm.
All right, I'm trying to email you this.
Okay, just email it to me.
So, yeah, so like, I took a risk this weekend. I did release a new song this weekend, and it's probably the most important song I've written in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the kids' music that we've been talking about. I stepped back and I sat down with my guitar a week ago, and I guess just the whole year I'd flooded up to just my brain, and out came a song. I thought I'm just going to record this raw and acoustic and
Did you
release it.
really?
Yeah, I just
Oh,
recorded it. I just set up the mic. I got the groove going. I just recorded a live thing of it, and then I made a video of it over the weekend and put it up. And it's called "God Help Us All." And it's just about everything. It's just holding a mirror up to the last year of our life. And some of my friends had shared it and had put a warning on it. Oh, it's not politically correct. And I was like, I don't feel like it's not politically correct. I just feel like
It's stating the obvious. It's stating
It's just
how pretty much everybody feels right
yeah, and
now.
that's been the feedback. It's like, wow, you've actually said something that we're all thinking but aren't willing to say. So very, very interesting. All right, this is coming to you through WeTransfer, Craig.
Okay, I'll look for it. Perigo also resub tier 1 for 6 months. Perigo, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate the resub. That is awesome. Yes, man. It's just pretty fascinating. I would love to see this for anybody watching live on Twitch or anybody watching on YouTube. I would love to hear your experiences of people like this. Do you think your opinion of the virus matters? I would love to hear your do you think your opinion of this virus matters experience. I would love to hear that. So if anybody has that type of experience, please share that in the comments, share that in the chat, because I would love to highlight some of those and talk about those, because that's pretty fascinating stuff. So
yeah, I entered that realm like many years ago in MySpace, where this was in an era where CDs were just now starting, the CD sales were starting to tank off, and more the illegal downloading things were starting to take over, right? What's that face for?
You look like Max Headroom going at 2 frames per second. You're
Oh,
clearly
you know
uploading
what's
something with your 0 upload speed.
Yes, I am. Is it going to affect the live stream?
No, it's okay. It's because I'm live streaming from my end. So you just, I might as well just put like a blank face of you up. Here you go. Check. Oh, hold on.
Should I make a face?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Or I'll just make you solo. There you go.
Oh no. Is it
No.
gonna go terrible? Well, I'll just or we can just direct people to the video if they want
No.
to.
Well,
You want me to send it to you?
Yes, send it my way. Yeah, and Brad legitimately is on grandma's internet. I asked Brad what his upload speed is
the other day.
Tell everybody what your upload speed is, Brad.
I don't remember
and then,
what it was.
and then wait for everyone to laugh. Yeah.
1.4, wasn't it? Something like
1.4 upload.
Look, we don't get fancy internet out here where I live, okay?
That's not even fancy
internet.
Yeah,
when I sign on for this podcast every night, you know what I have to sit through?
Right.
You've got mail.
real quick. Relax Sam says, "Can I go on the other side? My father just passed away on Thursday, and I wouldn't be able to talk to him without Facebook." Look, I don't think anybody is denying that there are some outstanding. Well, first off, Relax and Sam, I'm sorry to hear about your papa. That is not fun at all, and I'm very, very sorry about that. If you have a bunch of people here that are ready to support you, and with that said, I don't think anybody is downplaying the positive impact that social media has had on certain aspects of our life. But I do think that the bad definitely outweighs the positive in certain things. And I'm glad you were able to talk with your dad, in his waning days, and you share that. But I'm sorry to hear that, Relax and Sam. I know that's obviously incredibly tough. So.
Yeah, I think we can all agree, like I said earlier, these are great tools, right? But it's kind of like, how do you use the tool, right? That's a great example of using the tool. Connecting with family is a great use of the tool. It's when you share something like maybe you're proud of or a fond memory, right, on Facebook, and somebody has to comment something snarky because maybe somebody has somebody in the picture has a political affiliation that they disagree with, so they just have to say something, right? Like, oh, I can't believe so and so's grandma
I can't take you seriously with your video. I can't take you seriously with your video. It's so bad. It's so
bad. I can't wait to see it. It looks fine on my end, so I look forward to.
Oh my god!
Look, we're on 25%, so you've got at least another couple minutes here.
You look like. Yeah, so you look like a video from 1982 that was expanded out to 720p. and it's like super
Yeah.
blurry and bad. Oh yeah, it's really bad. It's horrendously
Hey,
bad.
look, this is an indie podcast, okay? That's the way it's got to look.
Can people please go to patreon.com/Craig Skits and please we need to get some money rolling here so Brad can, number one, get a good webcam. Number two, no, switch that. Number one, up his internet speed to just 5 megabytes upload. That's all you need is 5 megabytes upload. That's it.
This is why we need your support. I should just make
Oh
faces
my
for the next
God.
10 minutes.
You wouldn't be able to see them.
You can't even see it. It's all blurry and stuff.
It's horrendous, Brad. It's horrendous. Hey, Doll says
I'm sorry.
a knife is a useful tool, but in the wrong hands, it's lethal. That's right. Great
That's
analogy
exactly
there.
right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Jiggly Saint coming in says, the one time I left the house to go for a walk last year. Jiggly Saint, I'm sorry. Hold on. Is this legitimately you've left your house one time? I'm serious about this. You've left your house one time in the past year. I ended up running into an old lady who had some bad takes on the virus. One of them was that she said those people were going to die anyways. It makes me sad that people really feel that those who have passed from the virus were already lost causes. Yeah, some people are a little more, their thought process is not all the way there, but also on the other side, we had another gentleman on the call the other day. Brad, you actually weren't a part of this. Did a call-in show where we were talking about the vaccine, and he said, I think they're going about giving out the vaccines in the worst way possible. Instead of giving them to old people, you should be giving them to young people, because the young people are going to live longer and they have an opportunity to do more things. And the old people have lived a long life, and they're on the way out anyway. So, it's like, I don't agree with that like at all, but I'll gladly talk to him about it. Hey, give it up.
Yeah.
Look at this. JD just pledged $3 for your internet, Brad.
Thanks, JD.
Oh,
That's
man.
going to go a long way.
Let's go up in that internet speed. And Relaxing Sam donated $5. Is $5 for better internet for Brad. That's awesome. Let's go with that.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh man, that's great.
Look, life has its ups and downs. Internet is pretty low on my list of priorities, but I never planned in my life I'd be doing a podcast with my bro while trying to send him my latest music video at the same time. These were things I did not expect to do with my internet service when I signed up.
This is
10 years ago.
Yeah. Yes, 10 years ago. Tom says, half my screen is pristine. The other half looks like water dropped on the screen.
Well, you know what? We're at 49%. So we're going to have to stick through it. Well, listen, I think that there's going to be a trend that happens. We've lived so much. I've had this idea in my head for a long time now, but I think that that there's going to be a trend on the internet where we've been absorbed in the internet for so long that we will, just like we wear vintage clothes, we're going to start surfing the internet with vintage web browsers and vintage AOL discs and stuff.
I don't know.
And now it'll be sort of like a remastered version where it like a filter, right? Kind of like what's probably going on with my face right now, even though I can't see it. But like people will tune in to watch it just to get that 90s, like the VHS tape vibe, right? It sort of creates a certain vibe.
Yeah. I like the idea that we create an Instagram filter that is just your internet. And so whenever people take pictures, it just looks like trash.
Internet connection filter.
Oh, that's great. Real quick, there's a few things here. There's a few comments that I want to address here, but before I do, I want to let you know that Matt 143450 wants to let you know that your opinion doesn't matter on the virus, because he says, do you guys think your opinion of the virus matters? And in reality, he was saying, do you think your opinion of the virus matters? So before I get to that, I wanted to make sure we go here. Rock says, Brock, good to see you. Welcome on in. He says they should give the vaccine to those who have the highest touch points: doctors, nurses, and such, teachers, people who have come in contact with tons of people. Right. You would think that in theory, right? The thought process right now, which is pretty interesting, is they're giving them to quote essential workers first, and um, I think it's really interesting what is categorized as like an essential worker. Obviously, those who doctors, nurses, and the such. Yeah, they are deemed essential. But so is the guy who is the cashier at the liquor store down the street. He's deemed essential. The sacker at your local grocery store, she's deemed essential.
Yeah.
So these are important things.
It reminds me of a list I saw last year that was a list of the 5 top essential workers and then the 5 least essential workers. Do you know what the number 1 least essential worker was?
No.
An artist. And what was funny about this was that an artist had created all of these icons for this article. So the guy had to design an artist had to design the imagery for this article about how much his job is worthless.
That's amazing. It's pretty fascinating.
But you think about it and it's like, no, where would we have been last year without movies and music and art? That's not the number 1 non-essential job.
Right. Real quick, Brandon has pledged on Patreon, Brad, 15 doll hairs.
Wow.
Brandon, thank you very much. That's what I'm talking about. Hey,
thanks,
I can almost feel your internet. I can almost feel your internet improving. Almost.
My internet is improving. The more juju we get through the doll hairs. Look, it's on 73% right now.
Nice.
Okay, we're almost there.
Zombie Paler has a question. Says, do you guys think it'll be safe to fly somewhere on an airplane? I think it's already safe to fly somewhere on an airplane. I think it's very safe to fly somewhere on an airplane. I think that the I've been on 2 planes. I just think it's extremely uncomfortable to fly on an airplane right now. Not to say that it's not always extremely uncomfortable to fly on an airplane. If you'd like to hear more about my recent airplane experience, go back 2 episodes and watch about why.
That's where
that's where our comment of the day comes from. So you think your opinion of the virus matters? Where you can see Matt's comment about why it doesn't matter. So, yeah.
78%, everybody.
Oh, good.
I'm so excited for when you get the link because you're gonna download it in like a second. It's gonna go.
That's right.
Bam. And I'm like, wow, I got to get me some of that internet.
Yes. Real quick, Brock Rock followed up with says, yeah, that's why I don't like the essential workers tag. I look at some touch points of human contact, and in that sense, all grocers should be at the top of the list. Yeah, you think so. But at the same time, how essential is it to have somebody to put your celery in your plastic bag to go home? I mean, I think we've all been through, Walmart or Target and had to sack our own groceries, which, by the way, can we talk about what a scam that is?
Which one?
Just the idea of having to sack your own groceries when you go to the grocery store, right?
Do you think that's a scam?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. Look,
Sack and Save?
Yes. Okay, let's go back to a store called Sack and Save 30 years ago, where their whole gimmick was you sack your own groceries, right? You sack your own groceries, and we're going to save you money because we don't have to pay people to sack your groceries. Okay. And when we went to Sack and Save, you know where I thought we were going? The poor grocery store.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You didn't have the butlers loading up your bags for you.
Didn't have the
arrogant piece of crap.
No, I'm just saying you didn't have the sack boys. The boys who are they'd sack up your groceries, right? And you have to. You mean you have to do your own groceries? What? And now everybody does this like it's okay. Hey, all right, nice. Let's just stack it all up, and it's seen as a convenience now.
Yeah. I like packing my groceries. My first job was packing groceries at the grocery store, and I really learned the art of putting items in a bag. We used to have contests, bagging contests. and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it so much. I do not appreciate other people bagging my stuff. I'm on the other side of that because I don't really like people bagging my stuff, because sometimes they'll just put like one thing in there. I'm like, you could have put that in the other one. Like,
Right.
you don't know what you're doing. And they took away paper bags in a lot of places. You have to special request those in a lot of places these days. And the plastic bag, which I think is worse, it's just so flimsy, and it tears, and it doesn't do its job. But a good brown sack is where you need to stick your groceries.
I'll tell you what. I went in and went and bought a bunch of vegetables, and as I was going through the checkout, or I was thinking about where to go through. I thought to myself, I could check this out myself, but God damn it, that person needs to know what the PCU codes or PCLU codes, whatever they are, the codes are for artichoke or squash or whatever. Like, that's what they're paid to do.
4011 is a banana.
We all know that one.
4011. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. How's my internet look? How's my
Still looks
internet look, Craig?
Still looks like crap.
It's done.
Oh, good.
Okay. Hopefully my internet catches up to the show.
Look, we've all had to remember UPC codes. We've all had to know those at some point. So,
Yeah.
like, look, if I'm going to go through and buy a bunch of vegetables and fruit,
Yeah.
I'm going to have a trained professional do that, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're there to do. Hey, it does look a little bit better.
Some people are trained professional baggers, and they do a great job. I appreciate a great job. There's an art to it, right? Like if you got a bunch of cereal boxes, you put the cereal boxes on the outer edge so you can put the other things inside of it, right?
Mhm.
And it builds a wall. Anyway, I don't know.
Well,
I like it. I find that if I don't have too much, then I'll just go through the self checkout.
yeah. Well, I got bad news for you, Brad. Your file's an M4V.
Yeah.
It needs to be an MP4.
Oh, son of a crapper.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, that's okay. We'll figure it out.
Just go to YouTube, look up God Help Us All by 5 Times August. You check it out. That was my vent of the week, and it's going well. People seem to like it. So all that work for nothing.
I'll get it up. Just chill out.
You're gonna decode it?
No, you just relax. We're gonna watch this. We're all gonna watch this together. Yeah.
All right.
You do look considerably better now.
There's nothing more awkward than sitting with some friends while they listen to your music. If we got any musicians watching, they'll understand it. When you invite your friends to a show, and they're like, all of a sudden, like, it's like, oh yeah, like yeah, maybe I can be there. Like, everything else in the world is all of a sudden on their plate, and they might be able to get to your show. It's kind of the same thing. Like, let's what do you got? Let's hear it. And then they hear it, and they're like, yeah, man, cool. Good luck with that.
Sounds awesome, man. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
You want to see this new thing I'm working on? By the way, the irony of you having the Karate Kid in the background, is fascinating, because on my way home tonight from picking up the battery to our minivan, I was listening to the Karate Kid soundtrack.
You were? Which one? The first one?
Yeah,
oh yeah. This is the Karate Kid Part 3 soundtrack.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got several Karate Kid CDs.
What a brag! What a brag there.
Listen, I've got Karate Kid 1 and 3 on CD. I've got the scores for all 1, 2, and 3 from Bill Conti. They're the greatest movie scores of all time. And then they've recently reissued the 1 and 2 scores, so I rebought them again. They've got new artwork, and then number 3 is probably going to be coming out. So, and I've got number 2 on record. So I got it all.
Well, we're less than 30 seconds away from you having this downloaded, Brad.
Awesome,
so
Craig.
That'll be okay. I'm going to let you take this one here from Gears.
Yeah.
Golf.
Is Cobra Kai worth getting into? Yeah, if you like Karate Kid, and even if you don't like Karate Kid, and you just like good programming, good storytelling, good character development, it's just a good show. I'm heard lots of good things from people that weren't into Karate Kid. It's generally received. Oh, look at me shining all by myself. It's generally just a great show. So I recommend it. You know, if you grew up with Karate Kid, then it's gonna really make you go, wow, that's so great. What a great balance of old and new and all that good stuff. And if you're not a fan of it and you're just like, I just need good television, you'll like it. That's my take on Cobra Kai. You know, you'll figure it out in the first 2 episodes if you want to keep watching. So go for it. Cobra Kai season 1 had a 100% enough said on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, DJ Mike Fury, you got it. 100%, baby.
I have bad news.
It didn't work.
There's a video size limit, and it's 200 megabytes on this.
Oh,
on
look.
the StreamYard. By the way, we use a program called StreamYard to record this, right? It's like $25 a month. Okay. StreamYard was just acquired the other day. This program is like this hunky-dory little program that's like, it works like just well enough. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how much StreamYard was acquired for the other day?
$250. I was gonna say 1,000, but
take that 250, tack 6 zeros at the end of it.
Yeah, really?
$250 million.
Wow, that's a lot of doll hairs.
Anyways, well, okay, look, I need everyone to go to YouTube. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Look, after you watch this, just go to YouTube, look up God Help Us All, 5 Times August. Watch it. If you like it, share it. And that's it. Okay? That's it. It's just another part of my things that I do. All right.
It may be controversial.
Yeah, that's what they say out there. It's controversial.
All right.
Craig put the link in the chat. All right.
I did. All right, guys. Look, that's going to do it. Look, the point of this whole thing today, very simple. Look, do you think your opinion of anything matters? Yes, it does. All right.
Yeah.
Do you need to share it? No. 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 You guys have a great day. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. This is we're going long with these. We need to stop it.
We'll be back with more of our opinions tomorrow on Weekdays with Craig and Brad.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Hey, guys, one thing real quick. Thanks for becoming patrons tonight. Look at Brad's internet. It's already improving. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks everybody for doing that. That's awesome.
Appreciate it, guys. All you guys with your support. Appreciate Adam coming with all the bits and everybody supporting either way. Appreciate you guys allowing us to do this live. Really helps. So once again, if we get knockouts during the afternoon streams from 1 to 3, we'll then do them live at night. So you essentially get 2 streams over on twitch.tv/CraigSkits every day. So, all right, guys, see you guys later on. Make sure you go watch more videos and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't yet. Bye-bye.
See ya.